Hello, everybody. I'm alive. I live. Good time zone. Good evening. Good morning for me. Good morning for people on my side of the globe. And it's the weekend. Hello, everybody. It's the weekend. Happy weekend. Happy Umineko weekend. I wish it. God, it's not even Umineko. Happy Higurashi weekend. I wish it was a Higurashi weekend. I could do Higurashi all weekend if it was up to me. How's everybody doing? Pat, thank you so much for 20 months together. 20 months and longer, let's fucking go. Pat has been here since the dawn of time, since before the woo woo stream was real. Good morning, everybody. I am not exactly alone today, but Bushi actually was hit with some nausea right when we started, so I told her it's okay if she lies down, and she's gonna join us when she's feeling a little better. So until she does feel better, I'll be reading on my own for a bit. But she's here with us in spirit and listening, and yeah, when she's better, she'll join us. Yo, hi everybody. I did not kill her, Borfus. What is the slander? I did not. I'm innocent. I'm innocent, okay? In fact, yeah, innocent, totally. Bushy, get off Balatro, it's Higurashi time. Oh my god, even more slander? At least you're slandering Bushy now, not me. That does not sound good if you think you need to throw up to feel better. Also, why is my music not playing anymore? The music just died. Oh, it just got really quiet. Hi, Ichi. Good evening. No, take it easy, Bushy. Just join me when you want to. And we're not going anywhere anytime soon. The only thing is, now I have to remember myself what happened last time. You can't do this to me. Everybody, I'm so happy to see you here. I'm so sorry I wasn't here all week. I've been animating, actually, so I've actually have a lot of work doing my day job for once, so that's something that I have to focus on. I did even do a bit of overtime last week, and outside of overtime I was working on a music video that I was determined to finish, that I will finish today, I think. And yeah, just I would totally stream animating if I could, but I can't. And in fact, After Effects and my GPU are enemies for life. My After Effects dies and crashes my computer every now and then, like at average every 20 minutes, sometimes every 5 minutes. So my stream would just end all the time if I actually streamed that. So that's why when I go into these animation sprints, there's not much going on Woo Woo Draws, because normally that would be my drawing time, and I haven't figured out how to clone myself yet. But she seems like the kind of person who would be like deadly sick and be like, yeah, I'm fine. But the second she gets a tummy ache, she acts like it's the end of the world. Why does that actually sound adorable? Aww. Aww, that's adorable. Why can't I kind of see that? Some people did some community day one patching on Rebirth, so people with 1660 GPUs could play it. Oh, wow. Wait, really, like a mod? They made a mod for Rebirth, so people with old GPUs are not left out? That's crazy. Yo, Sarah. Oh my god, Sarah, it's so late for you. What are these gamer hours? Are you okay? I'm so happy to see you here. I'm gonna beat up your work. We missed you. Oh no, Ichi. Where? Ichi, I miss you too. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Like, it's. I would have stayed to play Bloons too, but honestly, by the time you were around, I was already quite sweating, to be honest, because I knew I had to work, and It was good. I dipped, to be honest, because I shouldn't have delayed that any longer. I was just gonna play a few cheeky rounds with Bushy, but next time we game together, I promise. Yeah, there's a DirectX limitation where as an RTX generation GPU is mandatory and the game won't even launch on older cards. I did see you say that on the Discord suplex. And do people still use older cards actually? Like, now that I think about it, I'm not sure if I know anybody who has older cards, but it's incredible it starts because I mean, it's a pretty demanding game, is it not? Good morning, good morning, good evening, Star. Good evening, Neutrophile. Well, everybody, yeah, like I said, Bushy will join us when she feels better. Bushy, you are not allowed to come back until you really do feel better, okay? And if you need to vomit, well, that is rough, but sometimes you do feel better if you just let it all out. But don't force yourself. Thank you so much, Neutrophile. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm happy that you came to say hi. Yeah, Bushi just got sick like all of a sudden, so it came out of nowhere. So she's resting right now. Mm-hmm. No, Star, please get well. Please get well. Okay, let me see and try if I can introduce you guys into what happened in Higurashi so far. So, um, we're transfer student, dude. Okay, and we're with this group of friends in this little town called Hinamizawa, and have been doing all the goofy things with our friends, and playing competitive board and card games against each other until we go to this festival where that they have every year. And during this festival we meet these two adults that we've seen around before, and they are all talking about the conspiracy of, like, every year somebody dies at this festival. It's usually somebody who was against the so-called dam project from ages ago. And it seems like something or somebody maybe in town or connected to the town, we don't know who, seems to always get these people who were against the no, who were not against, who were trying to build a dam in this town, so they just die and disappear. And that got us very concerned. And well, it turns out, in fact, somebody did die this festival as well. But it turns out it was one of those adults. It was Tomitake with the camera and the very interesting outfits. And that's pretty much where we stopped last time, I think. We did go to school. We found out because a policeman from the neighboring town came by and came to talk to us, the new transfer student, because he felt like he could not really question anybody in town about it because they are all in cahoots. They are all pretending like there is nothing foul going on every year at this festival. And because the main character is new in town, they're not really, all brainwashed up like that quite yet. So this police officer believes we're the only person that they can ask about this. So that is why he came to talk to us, and that's pretty much where we stopped last time. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, the whole freaking town is sus, like Saduka says. Let me go into reading mode. Everybody, if you're sticking around to listen to the usual visual novel narration, just make sure you're comfortable. You got some cozy drinks. I do have my big mug of coffee over here. And have a good time, okay? Oh, did I just press start instead of loading? Wait, let me correct that. Oh my god! Mew! I guess we call you Akui from now. Everybody, Welcome. This used to be Mew. Mew has rebranded, but is still unlucky with the keychains. I'm sorry. Changing names is not gonna reset your luck, unfortunately. But I'm happy to see you here. I'm happy you're here to listen to Higurashi has a good night story. I hope it's not gonna give you nightmares. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. You'll get them eventually, Akui. Okay, now I'm not sure if the audio works. One moment. Oh yeah, there we go. We should maybe unmute it. Alright, let me know if the music of the game is too loud or too quiet. And enjoy. Let's get into this. I don't know how much time had passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomitake-san's death was hard enough as it was, but to think that there was the possibility of a village conspiracy? Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved? Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Rena, Satoko, Rika-chan. Suplex, you're too loud and too quiet. It was a group that attacked Tomitake-san. Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here, somewhere in Hinamizawa? I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator.
It's Me-chan, the perpetrator.
Huh? I was startled to hear Rena's voice.
With the...
God.
With the robe and the... lounge.
Nope.
No.
Rena clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here, wow.
Huh? Keiichi-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger.
Oh, sorry about that. I was called into the staff room, you see. It's so odd for me to read these voices that usually are Boshi's roles. Because I've never spoken these characters before, and I need to tune into this. How to speak Rika.
You were reprimanded for bad behavior? That's a shame.
Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing in last place? Just use a different sprite set to reset voices. You're so right, Saduka. That's a genius idea. Let's go with this one.
Don't worry, Keiichi-kun. I'm at -1 points, huh?
The heck? Her score is lower than mine and I wasn't even playing. This is the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Rena alone or by both Kei-chan and Rena. Yeah, right. Just let Rena do the penalty by herself.
We made a promise, Keiichi-kun, that we would both win. I waited all this time, you know?
I'm sorry about that. I followed my initial plan of showing Rena my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call.
I got it! The murderer is me, with the poison at the entrance. Is it?
My, Rena, quite a quick answer. Another step in the dark? Oh.
Rena's correct. Oh! Then it's decided that Keiji-san shall take part in the penalty as well. Hooray! Keiichi-kun, let's both do our best.
Yeah, let's do our best. It's my fault, so I have no choice.
Then that's game. What? Speak out. Hello. Mion, hi. Hi, Mion. Then that's game. It's me, Mion Sonozaki, ranked first. In dead last are Keiichi Maibara and Hirena Ryugu. Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now was the penalty. Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the gopher penalty. What will she make us buy? I wonder. Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it? Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper. Wow, there's a lot written here. A lot? Damn it, what is she making us buy? 2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar and fried tofu. The heck's this? It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. Mi was certain she was going to win today. Rule 7 of our society. You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable. Thanks. This is just your grocery list. I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. Ding dong. Ding 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 ding. Ding dong. What an iconic theme. Ooh, all these tips. We're gonna have to read these tips at some point, guys. Today is not the day though, but what I'm thinking of doing is that we will probably try and record these and upload them. I'm just gonna have to find a week where I'm not zoned out animating and drawing all the time, but I think that could be fun. They honestly look so cute here. They do. And just wait until that changes. Saduka, I think that is precisely why he wanted to ban the drugstore. Although nothing about that should be embarrassing. Sleepy. Wow, that was a really big yawn, Keiichi-kun. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but doesn't look like I can do it today. No, Koto, somebody died already. Somebody died and it was bro with the muscles and the camera. But we don't know how he died. It seems like something was clawing at his throat and he bled out to that. I was watching TV until last night. I'm so tired right now. Was one of those raunchy TV shows you love so much on last night? How extremely vile. Wait a second, don't imagine things and jump to conclusions. It's perfectly normal for boys. Nothing to be ashamed about. Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse. Could you just let me pass out this lunch break? No, seriously. Ma, you think I would just sit here and allow that? I'll get really angry if you disturb me. Really angry. Yeah, Hunky Traveler dude. He's dead, Koto. Depends on what version of his sprite you're talking about, because one of them is not Muscle Bro. Yeah, one of them is a relative of Elon Musk, I'm sure. God, I don't even want to say that guy's names for jokes anymore. We're over it. We're no longer naming this dude. This was just dreadful. Just so
sleepy. I slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to hear.
Cut it out, Satoko-chan. Keiichi-kun fell asleep. His sleeping face is so cute.
You can take him home later. Let him be for now.
Hey, Aristo.
Yeah, go get the gacha. And please, I hope work is alright and over ASAP. Good pull, Aristo. Get that huddle. Oh, random side fact. So actually, like, I'm most used to the orange huddles, so seeing a green huddle is kind of like still odd to me.
Let's move over there. It would be rude to Keiichi if we bothered him now.
Marika-chan really is a good girl.
Let's not wake him up even if the teacher comes back.
I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night was because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Oishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Just spending the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Oishi-san just trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. I was watching TV, that was a lie. Instead, I was playing Merge Farm and no one can know. Oh my god. Truly a Boshi character. Unfortunate that Merge Farm value doxes you when you do play it on Discord. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. It ended up with me again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Oishi-san for this.
Huh? When was that?
I heard he wasn't there the next day. It appears he vanished the night of the Watanagashi. Mion whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up, but I could still tell that she was quite upset. It couldn't be... Are they talking about Tomitake-san?
The intake?
Not sure. That's all I know. I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it was much easier just to sit here and pretend I was asleep to listen in on their discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung.
So, me and... there are others, right? Too?
But they don't know if it's from the curse or if this was an onikakushi. Onikakushi? Onikakushi? To be hidden away by a demon? Oh, this is the word that is now being infamously localized as spirited away in English, which I think is a pretty neat way to localize it, right? But because onikakushi is also used in the movie Spirited Away, that's like just the word for it now in a lot of localizations. So that's what they mean. But like literally, it does mean to be hidden away by a demon, I guess. Like oni, demon, kakushi, to hide, or like the hiding. Yeah. Side FYI, but like I think some localizations of Higurashi do actually write it as to be spirited away, and I quite like that too, to be honest. What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good. Yeah, the movie.
Well, there was another, right? Right?
If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah.
But this year, at all?
Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion.
Then, without us knowing it, someone had them. You mean? Maybe? Next could me, I wonder.
Don't worry, you got home safely.
That is not allowed, right?
That was a long time ago. Let's stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term onikakushi. To be demoned away. By the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. I suspected that was what it meant because Tomitake-san and that woman, it really bugged me that I didn't know her name, vanished after the Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was what Reina said. There's another one, right? Mion also said, if it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah, responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be 2 victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of onikakushi. The game is picking up our audio, they're listening in. In Spanish it's called Chihiro's Journey. That is so similar to German actually. But you know, I feel Chihiro's Journey is still better than whatever they made in German. In German, it's literally called Chihiro's Journey to the Magical Land. Huh? You know? What? The audacity to kill the camera guy, outlandish. I know, right? Imagine I'm doing that right now instead of feeling sick. Don't worry, Bushi. I think we all can imagine very easily. The fact it's so long too in German, I know. Really, who sat there in localization bureau and was like, yeah, let's make a title that's like, 2 lines long. I think that's what it's called internationally. Bushi, just the US called it Spirited Away. I will say I quite like Spirited Away as a translation, though. It's very a very like, free translation, but I like it. Rudo, I saw a post earlier about how one person found that every person on Twitch was always... Oh, Kuru! Kuru, hi Nix! Okay. Give me the hot take, Nix. While I continue reading Suplex's message. Okay. Found that every person on Twitch was always shouting or would end up being loud and obnoxious eventually, and if there were still people who didn't become hard to listen to, and you came to mind immediately. Really? Wait, somebody posted that on Twitch? That's kinda a little rude, but it's nice that you thought of me, Suplex. That makes me happy. That makes me so happy, cause like, at least I can do that well, yay. I do sometimes worry if I'm like not being energetic enough, but at the same time, like I can't fake it. I'm just me. I'm just a woo, just a woo. But thank you so much, Suplex. I love that. Thank you, Bushi. Have you seen the names some animes have now in English or in Japanese? Because I'm telling you, the Japanese titles have been crazy too. You forgot your hot take was Bushi? Oh, Bushi got nauseous at the start of stream, so she's recovering now. But she'll be back. She'll be back next. If you cry a little bit more, maybe it'll cure her. Oh, my headphones died and I thought Woo Woo was away. No, I'm here, Star. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, thank you, Akui. Yeah, hot take. You got any next? It's okay, Boshi. I'm happy you're listening and chatting with us until you're better. Just enjoy. Pre-loop switches. Oh my god, welcome to the club, Suplex. But does it sound like a spray can? If you're an English speaker and you use the Japanese title for naming anime, you're cringe. You know, I can actually kind of like, you know, I get that. I totally understand you. And when I talk to like people in English, if I know the English title, I'll use it. But especially some older anime, because like I saw a lot of old anime before I moved to Germany, or before they were like released with an English translation. So a lot of older anime only have Japanese titles, or I knew them as the Japanese title first. But whenever that happens, I'm just like, fuck, I don't know the English title, but I don't want to be cringe and say the Japanese title. You know, that happens to me sometimes. But I do see where you're coming from, Nix. It's a hot take, you know, and I personally don't mind people using the Japanese either, but I know where you're coming from, Nix. That's okay. But yeah, I used to like God, do I unpack this now? Way back when I was like a tiny little artist and a teenager, I used to be more involved in the Japanese art community. I had a Japanese website and all that. So among like Japanese artists or fandoms, people often have like shortened names for series, you know. So I would often like if the series has a really long name, and I'll say this because, you know, of course I was in the whole Prince of Tennis thing, which is in Japanese Tennis no Oji-sama, but in Japanese it's just Tinipuri, right? So for me it was always like such a conflict, like in Japanese to use that, but in English to use Prince of Tennis. It was like, wah! I don't want to be cringe. I was totally overthinking it. Am I an overthinker? I am, in fact, a certified overthinker, and I should shut up before you all cringe out. Oh my god, Saruka, I'm not even gonna try reading that out. What the heck is that? No way! That is not a real title. Oh my god, I wanna die reading this. Does it sound like a spray can? Like when you shake it, spray it, or how? I'll throw it at the wall because it's still 3/4 full and doesn't work. Remember when they tried to translate a title and it just ended up being Bleach? Huh? Isn't that the whole title? Could also just be how you say it. I guess it could be, yeah. Damn, this is some deep weeb philosophy over here. I wonder if anybody has ever like written a paper on this. Let's continue. It seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together. I recall Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would best be described as cursed. Then, the woman with him, it means she vanished because she was demoned away? What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper. And the last point that bothered me was Rena. Rena was frightened. For what reason, I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Yashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday, Oishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I would be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Oishi-san. Informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. It made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events. And back to Happy.
The teacher approaches! Keiichi-san! You must awaken!
In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell, signaling the start of the afternoon classes. I couldn't sleep at all. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my seat. Huh? There was a thumbtack stuck to the back of my chair with tape. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Satoko! Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I furiously jumped up from my seat, and I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Not bad, Satoko. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence to pull off this fine piece of work. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko.
Oh, did you notice that our teacher has arrived, Keiichi-san? Take your seat.
Oh my god. Up close, Satoko? Let's see that in other art. Oh wait, why is the little art not close? No way. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead.
What? Keiichi-san is being mean.
Hey, don't pick on the younger kids, Maibara-kun. Apologize to her. Oh my god, Hyper Dream Surfer, welcome in. Thanks for following. Welcome to Higurashi. I saw Satoko stick her tongue out at me. That little brat. Come on, Maibara-kun? Yeah, I'll apologize.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm Woo. And normally I read with my friend Bushi, but she's recovering from sickness right now, so until then, I'm here on my own. But good to have you here. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologized, even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her, I'll remember this. Kei-chan, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat. I sat down after Mion told me to. She'd switched to class representative mode. So when is anyone going to explain to me why there's a tractor on the schoolyard? Yeah, the cicadas? I know. I don't know how you say that again. How do you say cicada? 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 Was that not a tractor? Wait, is it a different word? Some vehicle. With the boring classes finished, school was finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Personally, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Oishi-san. Namco! Oh my god, Namco, you're late. I'm sorry, you have to stand outside with 2 buckets of water now for the rest of the class. I don't know if that's real. I mean, it's gotta be real, right? I've never seen anybody do that. How you doing, Namco? Yeah, go stand outside the hall. Cicada? Okay, cicada. Good. Rena and I weren't able to test out our strategy.
That's right. Today, Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious. What should we do? We've never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Why not try asking me?
Mion looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up. Whoops! I completely forgot. I need to go help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today. Helping your uncle? Aren't you a little goody? Aren't you a little goody two-shoes? Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well then, sorry guys. This old man is heading back home now. Oh my god, the kitty message from Saduka's cat. Hi kitty. I'm happy you came to listen. Oh my god, I want to pet the kitty. Mion left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag.
You see, Mi-chan, she sometimes goes to help out at her uncle's shop in town.
Totally not sus, by the way. I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff.
She said that she gets paid for it. It is quite a bit of spending money from what I hear.
I see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there. But that... wouldn't you call that a part-time job? Isn't that against school policy?
There's a clause that states household chores are excluded.
Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today?
So, if we're done today, we're done today, I guess?
Won't it be fine even without the club president? Let's do this. I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games. Ah, here it is, the deduction game from yesterday. Man, I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break.
I do not mind, but is that fine for Rena-san and Rika? If Keiichi-kun wants to so badly, I wouldn't mind paying for a bit. I think it's better if we do it when we have everyone together.
When she says it like that.
I wanted to go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today. I'm going to buy soy sauce and other things. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Well, I guess it's been a while. I should go treasure hunting.
What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities. If I kept on trying to push the matter, it may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Oh well, I'll give up this time. Man, I really was looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I was still caught up on it.
At the next opportunity, I shall give you a sound thrashing. Oh ho ho ho!
That murderer is Satoko. The murder weapon is the pistol. It was you after all!
What did you say? Then I'll just...
Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me.
The murderer is Keiichi. In the lounge with the rope.
I don't need no rope. I'll just strangle you like this.
No! Keiichi's under such a beast!
Phew. Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system.
Well, I remember this Keiichi-san.
She was used as a plaything for quite a while. You poor thing. I love those emotes, Namco.
Cute, cute.
Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion, Satoshi.
Oh my god, Surfer, thank you so much. I'm so happy you like my voice. It means the world to me. Thank you, thank you.
Satoshi. Not all the cards were made by us, or at least every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Why did the music become spooky? Because there is a mystery person called Satoshi. Everybody's starting to get sus in here, you know? People are skipping club activities. Mion being suspiciously serious. What is going on? Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall.
Keiichi-kun, let's hurry and finish cleaning up.
Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rena had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Rena, there must be quite a few people who transfer from the school, right? I tried asking Rena in a bit of a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face and then answered.
Yeah, Hinamizawa is a rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then.
Then is Satoshi another one of those transferees?
Sorry, I don't really know.
There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate.
I'm not saying it to be mean. Just last year, they put Bro in a bag. I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him.
So, I'm sorry. It's just the image of, like, these children, like, killing him and putting him in a bag. I'm sorry. Homie did Naruto kinda dirty, huh? Hey! Oh my god, it's Jeannie! Welcome, Jeannie. Dismembered body parts one by one. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's just something about dismembered body parts that is so chilling to me. I mean, of course it is, but it's like, you know, I don't know. Like, murder already is bad, but then also to take their limbs apart is crazy to me, you know? Ugh.
So I didn't hear much about him. Sorry.
I am not sure. Sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's that's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance.
Katie-kun, you're making a scary face. Why is it? Why?
It was probably exactly the kind of face Helena said it was. It appeared my...
Oh my god, Rowan! The settlement, right? What are we settling for? Rowan, no, no! Welcome, welcome! Oh my god, what are we settling for? What are we settling for? You gotta tell me. Thank you so much for raiding. Hi, nice to meet you, everyone. Oh my god, Rowan, you're here with the art tax, right? We're settling for art tax is what it is? Never settle? Okay, Bushi wants all the art ever. Welcome, hi, nice to meet you, everybody. Hi, Uni. Oh my, you heard Rover? Oh my god, you are a fellow Rover enjoyer, cultured, based. You know, every now and then somebody will come in who also loves Rover, and I love that. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. How do I art text an unfinished animation? Have you exported it? You can also just send a screenshot if you want. But up to you, up to you. You can share anything you want. You can also share something that you didn't work on today. You know, it doesn't have to have been from this stream. Just as long as it's yours. Rover, I hardly know her. Oh my god. It's such a fun song. Yes, links are allowed. Thank you for asking, Rowan. Let me see. Everyone else, I'm Ruru. Every Friday evening it is for people over on the American side of the world, but for me it's Saturday morning. Every Friday/Saturday I read Higurashi. We used to read Umineko, but when I don't read and when I don't game, I usually draw lots of art and sing song and make music videos and stuff, you know. But I do a bit of everything, but true to my name, most of the time I draw. So nice to meet you.
Take a drink.
Except some people in chat would claim I am not Ruru_draws, but more like Ruru_yaps. Thanks for the highlight. Let me see. Yeah, Twitter is fine. Twitter is fine, especially because you still call it Twitter, you know. You know? Let me check. And thank you for getting your souvenirs. Oh my god, I saw this one the other day. I love this art. Check this out. This is so cool. I saw it and I thought this was such a cool scene outfit. And I feel like is this a Miku from a music video, from a song? Like I wasn't sure which one it's from. Yeah, it is Miku. Everybody, if you love art and Miku and also 2D animation, Rowan is the streamer to follow, y'all. You designed this, Miku? Oh my god. Wait, that's goated. Holy shit, that's your design? I didn't know. I straight up thought this must be from a music video. This is a whole concept, you know. I love that. No, this is great, everybody. You saw the Twitter link up above. Definitely go give Rowan a follow. I want her to hit me in the head with that thing. We should do that. We should what do you call these things? Those things in English? Is it a roller? Yeah, who did she kill? She killed Bro. She killed Muscle Bro, Tomitake-san. We found the murderer. Case closed. Let's wrap up stream. Oh, right. It's a rolling pin. What's so pin about it? You guys want to know what it's called in German? It's literally called a noodlewood. That's such a fucking silly name. A noodlewood. She straightened them out. It pins, does it?
I actually did that for a prompt drawing stream. My Kamiyoshi did. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love drawing for prompts actually. It's one of the most fun things to do as an artist, and this came out great. Thank you so much, Koto. The prompt was rolling pin, and I drew a murderous Chef Miku with a rolling pin. That's a great idea. I feel like a lot of people probably drew something cute. Oh my god, Brandon! Brandon with the lucky pull! Welcome in, Brandon! Is this your first keychain? Damn! Congratulations, congratulations! Why is it not counting the keychain? Yo! Hi! But yeah, rolling pin is noodlewood in German. What a stupid name, actually. It took me a while to understand in German why it's called a noodlewood, but of course you use rolling pins to, like, straighten out noodle batter. Or dough? Do you call it dough or batter? I don't know. And that's why. Man, I love German. It's such a silly language, isn't it? I know, it's such a silly language. But it's like, it can be both, it can be your angel and your devil. It can be stupid, but also sophisticated. We love a versatile language like that. Well, congrats, Brandon, for getting your keychain. Totally not rigged, by the way. Ambulance. Oh yeah, I feel like everybody knows ambulance. Everybody knows butterfly. I feel like Krankenwagen and butterfly are the words that everybody finds funny on the internet. But here's something, another like Japanese trivia. Interestingly enough, like the Japanese, most not most, a lot of people know the German word for ball pen in Japanese, which is Kugelschreiber, and I'm pretty sure no German ever thinks that's a cool word. It's actually a pretty weird word. It does translate literally to ball rider, Kugelschreiber. And for some reason the Japanese know this one, and they will always say to me, "Oh yeah, I know that from Splatoon." Like, huh? Yeah, it's such a cool word. I don't think Kugelschreiber is a cool word, bro, but okay, go off, I love the Barbara rap. It's so good. Wait, let me type it out to you. Yeah, Kugel. Kugel is a ball in German. And Schreiber is a writer. And it's like, honestly, like, even I don't think it's a cool word, But the Japanese, they swear it sounds so freaking cool. I don't know. They're cute. They're adorable. Yeah, wood used for noodle making. So true, Koto. You got it instantly. It took me a couple of years. Well, once again, Rowan, thank you so much for the raid. And raiders, if you're sticking around, make sure you're comfy and you've got hydration. And if you're tired and need to rest, then of course, makes a lot of sense. Then do rest and get all that after stream care in that you need. Boom. It does sound like Scriber, yeah. Aw, I'm glad you like it, Surfer. Thank you. That makes my little German heart happy. Where did we leave off? Right, we were talking about Mystery Satoshi, who is on the cards in this clue game that they have, but not in the club anymore. So what happened to Bro? Thank you for lurking, Rowan. I appreciate you. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her. Sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today. I'm just feeling down about it. I rustled Rena's hair. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. And yeah, Rowan, I know my stream times are a little difficult. I get it, but I'm happy you managed to. It means the world to me, thank you. I wonder why. Oh, why not? Da,
Na 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 na.
Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long outstretched shadow gave me no answer to my naive inquiry.
Keiichi-kun, are you tired? Maybe.
Lena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made the situation even more unsettling. You think so?
Yeah, you seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold?
Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had a perfect attendance since elementary school. Lena continued on since I didn't give her an answer.
It could be that the fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live, after all. Of course you've gotten tired, since there's so much you need to get used to and remember.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, it has to be. I was also like that at first, too. I can tell, you know?
I wondered if Lena also experienced the slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hinamizawa. How was it? Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened.
It was the same as Keiichi-kun. I didn't know the villagers' names at all. Michan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely, but I did still feel a little out of place.
Lena told me all the details of when she moved here. All of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So, Satoko got you too?
Yeah, that was a thumbstack put on my chair. Poke! And then with that, that really takes me back.
When were you invited to the club? The first day?
Nah, there wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day she said we should stay after and hold a big game tournament.
Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it.
This is a secret, but Michan used to be really bad at the beginning. She'd never win.
Huh? Mion? Really? Can't even imagine that.
She had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Seriously. Don't tell.
I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty.
I began making more friends besides Michan after that, but yeah, it might have only been since you moved here that I had finally felt like I had gotten used to it here.
I guess Rena had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. I wonder if when I'll finally be considered one of them.
Huh? Did you say something?
No, sorry. Just talking to myself.
Keiichi-kun, you're silly.
Lena was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. Then, after making up my mind, I spoke. Hey, Lena, is there something that everybody's keeping from me?
Huh? No? Not at all.
You're lying, aren't you? Lena suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense.
What do you mean by that, Keiichi-kun?
Her tone was still the same cheery and light-hearted as before. You are, aren't you, keeping something from me? After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect. Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm sorry. That kind of caught me off guard. Oh my god!
Um, that really caught me off guard because like I had my eyes kind of close-ish to the stream, and then she just stares into my soul like this. No, you can't do this to me. Holy shit. Yeah.
Well then, Katie-kun, aren't you keeping something from us?
Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rena. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rena.
Aren't you? Lies or secrets? Aren't you?
We're getting to the spoopy parts. Watch it go back to ding dong in like 5 seconds. I just love dwelling on the art a little bit. This is very cool.
You are. Secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitake-san, and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone what happened with Tomitake-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then, aren't we even? No, I'm not. No lies, nor secrets.
Liar.
Her answer was instant, and it shook me. Rena was stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying?
Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Keiichi-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room.
I swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened.
The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside one of the cars near the school gate. With some man we don't know.
Rena knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Oishi-san, and that I heard about the incident with Tomitake-san as well. Did she know all of it?
Exactly who was that man?
I don't know him.
Why did someone you don't know have business with you?
I want to know that myself.
God, Bushy, why did you have the perfect emote? Holy shit.
Then, what did you talk about?
It has nothing with you got to do with you guys. It was a lie.
Oh my god.
Then a scream echoed through the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here. I first realized the person in front of me, she wasn't Reina Ryugu. Then, who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Reina Ryugu's appearance? I had held my breath for so long, I could feel myself suffocating.
Right?
And then she made a facial expression that Reina normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Reina's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Reina's face was going to chew my nose right off. I cowered as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me.
Okay, Brandon. Okay, Pat. Everybody's emote game is too crazy. What the heck?
We also have secrets, just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets.
It was Reina's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rena, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. Okay, I'm sorry. They're talking about hawks and swallowing so much. I can't, you guys. I can't. You know, I tried to be good here. I can't. And I know Bushy has the same thoughts. Stop it, Bushy. I can hear your thoughts. To on that thing. Oh my god, Bushy. You ruined me, Bushy. You and Isomnium game. Pat, you too. That's a crazy licky emote. After what felt like an eternity, after a long empty silence, she finally spoke.
Let's go. It's getting chilly.
It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing had happened at all. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight. Who was that? It felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and asked myself once again, who was that person who looked like Rena Ryugu? That was a cool scene. That was our first proper spoopy scene. And I think this is just the beginning. Chad, do you have a favorite girl so far? I know Andrew's favorite is Neon, including me, but do we have any fans of the others in chat? Reynand? Of course. No, you know what? I can see it. I like Reyna a lot too. She's probably, yeah, second for me. But I guess Mion didn't get a lot of scenes. I think we had the most scenes with Reyna so far. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Reyna going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Reyna. Then, who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that that was someone else, not Reyna. So tomorrow, I shouldn't have a problem talking to Reyna like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head, though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the stairs.
Katie, it's a call from the bookstore.
Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Oishi of the Okinomiya bookshop. Oishi-san. Oh, it's Oishi-san. Sorry. Since your parents picked up, I said I was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Oishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Bro's name is delicious. You know what I think about Bushy? I think about flippin' like Prince of Tennis character with the egg head and the two bangs. You know who I mean, right? Why does he have two bangs like that? What's that hairstyle, you know? Sorry for calling so late.
That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Yeah. Okay.
He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up.
So how has it been, my Barasan? Did anything strange happen recently?
I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Oishi-san?
Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinomiya.
If he's from around here, he might know. Oishi-san, do you know what this Oni-kakushi thing is about?
I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away like everyone else says.
Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything.
Hinamizawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, my Barasan.
Don't try to play this off. If you're not going to talk, then I'm not going to tell you anything.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside.
Demons? By demons you mean those pitchfork-carrying things in hell?
More like human-eating monsters. They'd go down to villages snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale.
Demon snatching up people is what this Onikakushi really means.
They said the curse and being demoned away happened together.
Oh, oops, it's Keiichi. They said the curse and being demoned away happened together. What does that mean? I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row. But I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years.
The curse and being demoned away happened together? First time I heard of that. Is that how it is, my Barasan?
That's what I want to know. I heard Elena and Mion talking. They said that if it was really Oyashiro-sampa's curse, then both the curse and demoning away would happen. Oishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind?
My Barasan, do you know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment?
Oh my god, they're really bringing the dismemberment back. Koto was right. Koto was right all along. Do they just bringing people into this town, kill them over their superstitions, and the whole town is in on it? That seems to be what is happening, but why? Oh my god, I love the double stabby emote. You know, I've seen single knives, but double knives like that? That's crazy, that's wild, and I love it. I love it. It's also the sweating face for me, it's very good. Yeah. One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right?
Hypothetically, what if he isn't on the run but was demoned away?
Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Oishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent, even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then what about the incident next year, when the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an incident?
Well, Actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law.
At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch of the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from her being demoned away?
We cannot say someone is dead without their body. Until a certain number of years pass, by law, she's treated as still alive.
I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality. How about the third year? The Shinto priest died of illness, and his wife committed suicide?
My Bara-san, that's actually the exact same scenario.
The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless swamp deep in the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the swamp. A diver was able to recover a few of her articles, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere.
I'm not sure if we could refer these cases as being demoned away. It's just, as you've said, every year one person does go missing.
The incident this year, the woman with Tomitake-san, has gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right?
Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record for narcotics abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation. As to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime.
But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice?
No idea. It was most likely only the one perpetrator. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell.
He swallowed a spark and choked to death? It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide? Meaning, for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing.
That's about right. No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I never realized they had that in common.
I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. It was just something they had in common. Could it be that those demoned away have something in common? Oishi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was the damn employee. The damn employee. Second year was the wife of a damn project supporter. Third year was the wife of the Shinto priest. Fourth year was the victim's family's child, and the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them.
With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends, those do stand out.
It does seem like there are a lot. Then that means the fourth year's victim's child was indifferent. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. Sadaka says, old school religious town, need to feed the spirit tree. Yeah, does that happen? Like, that's gotta be happening in some towns around the world, right? Like villages, there are entire cults or something do exist, don't they? Or am I making this up? I'm pretty sure this exists somewhere. completely unrelated actually. Do you guys know this island? I forgot what it's called. It's an island in the Indian Ocean, I think, where there's like a folk that had never had contact with the rest of the world, and if you try to, you know, to initiate contact with them, they'll fucking kill you, you know? I forgot what they're called. It's actually really not that far from here. That's crazy, you know? Like, it's not that people haven't tried to, you know, make a connection with them. Yes, North Sentinel Island. They just straight up murder people when they come close. It's crazy. Yes, Koto, it is illegal. It is illegal because I think they are not immune to a lot of sicknesses, you know, because they haven't gone through them, right? So if they came in contact with people, they could, you know, be wiped out if you're not careful. But it's also like, you know, crazy that they just straight up kill you. Yes, when a missionary tried to make contact and died. Yeah, I know. But I'm sorry, that guy was hella naive. Like, bro just like thought he was American, wasn't he? Bro just like thought he had to come all the way over here on a boat, you know, was the one single person on a mission to convert this random ass uncontacted island folk to Jesus, to Mortis. But he got mortised instead. I don't know. He was so naive about it. Like, you know, just imagine bro showing up on your beach with this mysterious book and starts reading it to you. Like, what did he think would happen, you know? They can't even understand him. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. That was stupid. But okay. I don't want to be insensitive here because that is still gruesome. And he had no bad intentions. I was a little stupid. Okay, I was just a little stupid. Yeah, he was Christian for sure. I think he was like Asian American or something. I remember seeing a photo of him, yeah. Bro shows you his iPhone, it's Dover, right? But yeah, it's super crazy, scary to think about. I do think they've sent drones over the island in recent years, so nowadays you can actually see how they live. But for the longest time, you know, all people would really know about the inhabitants of North Sentinel Island from what they saw at the coast. But the forest on the island is so dense that you can't really see how they live. But yeah, some drones were able to get some pictures, and it's wow, you know, it's wow. It's very fascinating. It's illegal to fly over islands, I thought. It might be, but it seems like somebody's done it. I mean, you know, since probably most of the time nobody's around there, you can probably sneak some over, huh? I don't know. I don't know how they did it, but I've seen like a picture or two. Okay, let me hydrate. 1 moment. "5 miles out to sea of the island is illegal." Whoa. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. I feel like if it wasn't illegal, people would be flying their drones over it all the time. Okay. The child that went missing in the 4th year, who were they?
Apparently he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. His name was Satoshi Hojo-san.
They did put him in a bag.
But she was right.
Huh? Satoshi? I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year?
He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him?
Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then, where I sat, once belonged to the one who was demoned away. It was his seat? I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. This string of mysterious deaths. No, Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation, it was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it, and I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. Oh my god, good morning, Tuna. We are reading Higurashi. And Bushi is also around but in chat today. But if she feels better, she might join me later. I hope you're good, Tuna. We are currently uncovering all the sus things about this town. People have been dying and going missing for years back to back to back, every time at the same time. And we are completely in the dark because we just moved to this town and everybody is trying to keep these events completely secret from us. And the police are the only people who tell us about it. And they're trying to get us to be their spy, or their informant, actually, not really a spy, but it's all deeply unsettling. And that's what we're doing. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually, I would reach the point where I'd learn something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser, or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena said she may be the next victim of the curse.
Oh, you mean Rena Ryugu-san? She transferred in last year. She's your classmate, isn't she? These incidents really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she?
It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced, almost as if, you could say, she was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanor. That someone who looked like Rena, but wasn't Rena, that might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me.
I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryugu-san, Maibara-san.
Are you asking me to keep Rena under surveillance?
That's not what I mean, Maibara-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim.
At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock, knock. A sudden knock at the door sent my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver.
Katie, get the door, please.
On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight?
Yeah. My apologies again for calling so late. If you find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. Keiichi, hurry and open up. Daddy's got his hands full.
Yeah, full with what, Dad? What's your job, Dad? Will you tell me? before you die, Dad? Oh, actually, Dad is alive. You know, at least Dad is alive. What is Dad doing? I had stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. Oh, when I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea, a fairly fancy spread for our whole household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side, everything you could ask for. This was quite the show of hospitality. What's going on, Dad? What's this all for? Come on now, don't play around, Keiichi. I'm coming in. Dad was in high spirits, had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I've never seen him act this hospitable. What's gotten into him? So, what were you talking about? I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father, but how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective, I'm assuming he was, this late at night? Nothing much, just a friend. I don't mean on the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Rena-chan. Huh. She wasn't here. Come on now, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting anyway, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but looks like I just missed her. I had no idea what Dad was talking about, but a cold sweat dripped down my back. How long are we talking? Rena-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess. You saw her? Come up to the second floor? Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was the door down the hall up the stairs. Rena came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the second floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then told her my room was on the second floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. She passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs and about an hour passed. Then passed by my dad and returned home. Then after she came upstairs and until she left, where was Rena? There's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Rena had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. All of the unsettling and unguarded things I spoke to Oishi-san about began rushing through my head.
Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again.
Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed choro. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked down at the floor around the doorway where Rena might have stood all that time. Just now, as I was talking to Oishi-san, with my back turned, Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away. The whole time? All that time? In this dimly lit doorway? What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. What? Do you think Lena was here? Or is he paranoid now?
Whoa!
Whoa.
Lies. The achievement was called Lies. Whoa. End of chapter 3. I didn't even know we were getting chapters for these. That was crazy. She was eavesdropping all this time, I guess. Weariness and a headache. Not a very nice way to start the day. What's wrong?
Katie,
You don't look so well.
when did you go to sleep?
It seemed that my mom had noticed my sullen state. Yesterday, I kept on waking up in the middle of the night. Without a doubt, I felt a presence. I felt the presence of someone standing in front of my door. I told myself repeatedly that it was my imagination and forced myself to try and sleep. Except, not being able to stand it, I gathered up my courage and opened the door. Of course, there wasn't anyone there. I think I did this 3 times throughout the night. Or maybe I just didn't remember doing it any more than that. Even though I was able to get to the breakfast table without incident, I still didn't feel at ease. It might be a cold. I don't really have an appetite.
My, you do seem a little warm. Well, can you make it to school?
Technically, I did go to a school, but it was mostly self-study. It wouldn't matter much if I missed a day, would it? It could have been that I hadn't been feeling well for the last few days because I really did have a cold. If I took some medicine and got a good day of rest, I might be able to greet everyone with a smile tomorrow. Startled, I looked back and forth between the entrance and the clock. It was 10 minutes later than when I usually met up with Lena. And it was Lena.
Lena-chan came to get you. What are you going to do? Are you going to take the day off?
Lena was a good girl. She might be somewhat quirky, but she was certainly cute. The lunches she made were delicious, and she always looked out for me. Why should I be so scared of something like that? It wasn't Rena's fault. It was probably mine. It had to have been my cold. It just had to be. I'll rest. Sorry.
Then I'll go send her off for you.
Mom headed off to the door. I would have to pass by the entrance to get back to my room. I didn't have the nerve to meet with Lena, so I wrapped myself in a blanket on the sofa and closed my eyes. I was so sleep deprived, I quickly fell into a deep slumber. I hate the feeling of skipping school, and yet I've done it so often in my life, but there is something really, it makes your anxiety worse when you miss class, don't you think? I don't know if any of you can relate to it, but I used to be so anxious about going to school, but staying home, would just make me even more anxious. Hey Singularity, welcome in. Get cozy. But yeah, it was a weird spiral. Once I started staying home, going back to school became harder and harder and harder. And for some reason, I just feel that in this scene right now. I know I'm projecting a little, but I just don't believe Keiichi when he says that, hey, if I just stay home today and take my medicine, maybe I'll greet everyone with a smile. Like, doesn't it make you even more anxious if you don't go? If you're already avoiding something? That's what I'm thinking. I had only intended to lie down for a bit, but it was almost noon when I woke up. I called out to my parents, but they didn't seem to be around. On the table, I found lunch prepared and a note. Mom and Dad had apparently driven off to somewhere far away. It likely had to do with Dad's work. This happened every so often, so it wasn't that unusual. Sorry. They would be back for dinner, but might be a bit late. On the note it said, "The insurance card is on the cabinet. Take it and go to the hospital." There was also a well-drawn map to the hospital. That's right. I hadn't been there before, so I didn't know exactly where it was. I had a light lunch, although it really was just leftovers from the morning, and just in case, went to the hospital. Normally, I'd never be here in the middle of the weekday. Just walking around like this had me feeling guilty. It was not feeling. Following my mom's map, I took a road I usually never used. After walking for a bit, the hospital sign came into view. Irie Clinic was written rather stylishly on the sign. The clinic wasn't very big, but based on the scale of the rest of Hinamizawa, it was far too grand. There was a parking lot, and even a reserved spot for buses. They must be making a mint. No, look at that! Look at that cute crocodile by the counter. Oh my god! Wait, is it a crocodile or a dinosaur? I'm not even sure. But that is so cute. I think it's the sign says please wait a moment. I think it's a be right back sign for the receptionist, but isn't that the cutest be right back sign ever? Oh my god, I want it. That's so cute. I spaced out in the air-conditioned waiting room until it was my turn to be seen. Maibara-san, please make your way to the examination room. After half-heartedly answering all of the chatty doctor's questions, he responded with the old, "It's probably a cold." They gave me a shot and 3 days' worth of medicine. I thought it was a little overboard, but if it would clear away the gloomy feeling I'd been having lately, then it was worth it. I settled the bill and took a quick trip to the washroom. As I was leaving, I overheard a conversation between some elderly people who seemed to be regulars at the clinic. Of course, I had no intention of eavesdropping, if it just wasn't for that word.
Must have been an Onikakushi. I wonder. She was still pretty young. Might have just eloped. With whom? Oh, that man from Tokyo who visits every season. That young one with that big camera. Didn't you know they were getting along pretty well?
Were they talking about Tomitake-san? I could feel my ears perking up.
I don't know about that, but you have to make preparations before you elope. Leave a note or quit that job or something. It's an elopement because they didn't leave a note or message. The thought that I'll never see that young nurse's face again makes me rather sad. Takano-san is an upstanding young woman. She'll be fine wherever she goes.
So her name was Takano-san? That woman with Tomitake-san? And she worked at this clinic? Oyashiro-sama's shadow was following me everywhere I went. I started listening more closely, but they began talking about fishing, and it didn't seem like they were going to revisit the topic. I gave up and left. Thus, even though I was separated from the daily monotony of the school, I wasn't able to escape from Oyashiro-sama's shadow. But of course, Oyashiro-sama was the guardian deity of this place, of Hinamizawa. As long as I was in Hinamizawa, I wouldn't be able to escape. Maybe it was because I was walking outside, but my appetite had suddenly returned. I might as well buy a snack with the change from the examination fee on the way home. Contemplating that, I turned onto a familiar street. At that moment, I heard a car horn abruptly honk behind me. Was I really walking so far in the middle of the road where I'd be in a car's way? I moved farther off to the side, but the horn was still honking at me. I turned around and peeped.
Maibara-san, good day to you.
It was Oishi-san. He stepped out of his car, AC on full blast, and waved at me. He's back! Rank your favorite Oishi sprites. They're all so very different. You know, I think I do like the console one best.
What's up today? School on break?
Just not feeling well, so I took the day off. I was about to go buy lunch and head back home.
That's great. I'm just about to get lunch myself. Would you mind going together? If you're not feeling up for it, then don't mind me.
I was just going to lie down after going home anyway, and I didn't really have a cold.
I expect you'd rather avoid using one of the local places. Let's go into town. It's a bit of a drive, is that alright? I know a pretty good place.
I'd finally begun to understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying things. He probably wanted to talk to me about stuff that would be difficult to discuss while in Hinamizawa. I went with Oishi-san riding in his frigid car. It was almost as if the bright sunlight outside was a lie.
I'm sorry about calling you so late last night. Did your parents get angry at you?
No. I recalled Lena, who had been listening to the phone conversation all that time, separated from me by just the door. Even now, in the brightness of the sunlight, the thought still creeped me out. With a big bump that jolted the car, the road connecting to the city changed from dirt to pavement. My head swiveled back with a sudden realization. That's right. This was where Tomitake-san died.
They've had a snack on the investigation regarding Tomitake-san.
Oishi-san spoke while peering at me from the corner of his eye.
They believe it was caused by hallucinogens?
How do you say that? Hallucinogen? I don't know how do you say that. Given how he was clawing out his own throat, but a drug that could cause that to happen so suddenly is extremely hard to come by. Bear in mind, of course, the autopsy was done with that premise in mind, but we didn't find any leads. You know that thing you see in manga all the time? Where there's a drug that doesn't leave any traces after being consumed? Hallucinogens? Oh, hallucinogens. Oh, hallucinogens. Hallucinogens? Shit. I don't know. I hope they'll never use the word again, Koto. Hallucinogens?
It exists.
Oh my god, they just came up with a crazier term. Koto, help me, please. Succinical something or other? Succinical? What are these words? What are these names? That's not a word.
Well, it's pretty common. But you see, there doesn't seem to be any kind of drug that would cause Tomitake-san to react like that.
Then you're saying the police concluded Tomitake-san just died from the curse? Succinylco? Okay. Oh, that sounds good. Succinylco. Hallucinogens. Yeah, okay. I'm getting the hang of it, Koto. Thank you. I couldn't help but feel that the police were worthless. I just wanted the idea of a curse to be dissociated from Tomitake-san's mysterious death.
Unfortunately, that's how it looks right now. But putting aside the cause of death, without a doubt he was surrounded by a group of people and had taken a beating before he died. There was no curse, but an incident that unquestionably involved other humans.
That made me a bit relieved. We passed in front of the rather desolate, but still busier than Hinamizawa train station. The car pulled into a restaurant parking lot, and I followed Oishi-san to the shop. It was pretty crowded, but there were only adults at this hour. Of course, there wouldn't be children in here in the middle of a weekday.
2, please. I'll make do with non-smoking.
This way, please. When you are ready to order, please call me over.
We were led by a peculiarly dressed waitress to our table. I sat with Oishi-san in the booth.
So, what do you think? Aren't the waitress's outfits here cute?
Huh? Well, I guess.
This shop is always quite busy. It's more about the waitresses than the food, you see.
Why the heck is the police taking me to freaking Hooters? Uh-huh. Oishi-san, you're leering.
Am I really?
Creep. Okay, but the menu though, look at that menu. They have, oh my god. Look at those cakes. Whoa. That's a beautiful menu. Regardless of how the waitresses looked, the food was decent enough. Finishing our meals while talking about some insane topic, or inane. I wish anime cafes were real. They are, Boshi. They actually are. Come on. I wish Italy was real. Oh my god. This reminds me of hopefully tomorrow's Phoenix Wright stream title. I love Phoenix Wright. I wish lawyers were real. It better be that one, Boshi. Finishing our meals while talking about some inane topic, Oishi-san's after-meal cup of coffee arrived at the table.
Yesterday we talked about Hinamizawa's past, didn't we?
Yeah, there was the village of man-eating demons or something like that.
I didn't know much about it myself, so I asked my mother about it this morning.
Oishi-san took out the notepad that was stuffed into his breast pocket.
Turns out that Hinamizawa used to be called Onigafuji, the demon's abyss.
Onigafuji? That's quite the name.
The name is still around. The swamp where the Shinto priest's wife drowned herself is still called Onigafushi. It's said that the depths of that swamp connect to the realm of the demons.
Of course, nobody had told me anything about such an ominous swamp.
And you see, it appears they were both feared and revered.
A respect born of fear. I guess you could say it was a kind of deification. A village of inhuman creatures.
Seems the demon were sennin, or mountain-dwelling mystics of sorts. Villagers with incurable illnesses would be taken to Onigafuchi to be healed, for example.
Even if we are calling them demons, Tengu, long-nosed goblins, or sennin would be more apt to description.
They don't seem like such terrible people, even though they were called demons.
But they were still man-eating demons. According to the story my mother told me,
As payment for treating the son's illness, let us eat the mother who brought him here, was apparently how things went.
the price of curing her son was herself?
That's unsettling. Of course, the mother took her son and ran. Then, you see, all the villagers of Onigafuchi, the demons, chased, surrounded, and captured them.
The entire village, apparently. That's quite a frightening thing to imagine. I wish spirit mediums were real. There's a spirit large order, Bushy. Oh my god. I miss Maya. Damn. If you think about it, we had more Emma in the first Phoenix Wright game than we had Maya. Isn't that sad? Isn't that so sad? And I love Emma, but you know, this was supposed to be side content. It's longer than the main game.
In the end, it seems both mother and son were caught and eaten. The end.
There's a problem with this story. Oh my god, I think this restaurant that is sounding more and more like a maid cafe at this point is called Dead Angel. You see it in the corner? Angèlement. I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. Both witnesses in this story were eaten, so nobody would be able to tell the tale.
Huh? There are plenty of old fables like this.
In contrast to the ghastly tale, Oishi-san laughed heartily while sipping his coffee.
But well, there are quite a few other tales, where the demons from Onigafuchi band together to capture their prey.
I recall that Neon said all the villagers united and fought against the dam construction. I saw similarities with how that part about unification overlapped.
They would always hunt down a single person, and they chose who it was going to be beforehand.
Huh? That caught my attention. Oishi-san also appeared to be pondering what it meant.
My mother told me you must never interfere with the demon's hunt. You should just hole up in your house and hide under the covers, she said.
So what does it all mean?
It means you mustn't ever help or protect the prey. As long as you don't disturb the demon's hunt, no harm will fall upon the villagers. It seems there's that kind of rule.
Basically, don't help the victims. Pretend you didn't see the atrocities, in other words. What happens if I break that rule?
Well, they're man-eating demons after all.
Many parts of that tale caught my attention. Parts of the story he told me overlap with his theory that the entire village was in on the crime. Even if it wasn't the whole village, it was conceivable that the villagers were hiding under the covers and leaving them to die when there's a group that was on their hunt, wasn't it? I didn't dare speak it. Then, Oishi-san, I guess it looks like it's either the entire village or a group of villagers perpetrating the crimes.
What do you think, Maibara-san? Ah, excuse me. Another cup of coffee, please?
That's what I wanted to know. It seemed that we were both waiting for the other to say that last part. He waited for the waitress to finish pouring coffee before speaking.
Last year, I had a nagging feeling when Satoshi-kun disappeared.
Oishi-san muttered as he watched the milk swirl around in his coffee.
So those friends of Satoshi-san, meaning your group of friends, Maibara-san, I had a bit, really just a little bit, okay, of a background checking done on them.
If Oishi-san had said this to me before, I would have gotten angry at him for calling my friends into question. But as I was now, I couldn't.
This might sound pretty stupid, Maibara-san. If you feel that it's stupid, please say so. I'll just stop.
Oishi-san was wearing the most serious expression that I'd ever seen from him. It was as if he was telling me to prepare myself and listen. There were quite a few things I regretted hearing from Oishi-san, but none of them were as threatening as this. A little voice inside me was screaming like an alarm. Stop, Keiichi. This was probably the last one. I took a deep breath and silenced that voice. I would not run from the truth. Please. That was all I could utter. Oishi-san stared into my eyes, silently for a few moments. After he was certain I was ready, he began.
The victim of the incident in the first year was the overseer. A few weeks prior, he had an altercation with Mion Tsunosaki-san. Multiple altercations.
Oishi-san had said before that Mion had defied the dam project vehemently. Well, it wasn't hard to imagine how she'd be if she got worked up.
In the second year, the married couple who supported the project died in that accident, right? Their daughter was with them at the time. Her name is Satoko Hojo-san.
Huh? Satoko meaning Satoko? Oishi-san's look told me that my voice was too loud. I realized it as well, and quickly quieted down.
The Shinto priest and his wife who died in the third year, you see. Their daughter is Rika Furude-san.
Rika-chan was...
The housewife who died in the fourth year you know already, don't you? It was the step-aunt of Satoko Hojo-san. She was in her aunt and uncle's custody, as she had lost both of her parents in the accident. She lived in the victim's house.
I could tell my lips were getting dry. I didn't even have the wits to keep my mouth from hanging agape. I had thought it was nothing but a bizarre incident, one that I could easily distance myself from. But clicking and clacking, it had snuck all the way to my feet.
The one who disappeared the fourth year, by the way, he was Satoko-san's older brother.
Well, just wait. Wait just a second. It took everything I had to finally say that. I gulped down a glass of water and once again wiped my face with a napkin. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. But Oishi-san was relentless. Instead of waiting for me to finish sorting out my feelings, he started speaking again. The last of the things I shouldn't have heard.
All of the victims seem to be connected to your group of friends.
That just has to be a coincidence.
Maibara-san, keep it down. Everyone's looking.
Mion? Satoko? Rika-chan? So what if they're connected? You're telling me all of my friends? It couldn't be. It just couldn't be. Oh, Rena is different, isn't she? Rena isn't connected with the victims at all.
Reina Ryugu's son was living in a suburb of Ibaraki Prefecture up until last year. Well, it's true she hadn't directly met any of the victims.
He said it in a roundabout way. Is he saying she's also connected?
Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryugu's son moved away to Hinamizawa, she was suspended from school. It seems she went through her school building and broke all of the windows.
Reina did that? She broke all the windows at her school? That same spacey Reina had... I couldn't even imagine it.
It seems that after her 3-day suspension, she didn't return to school. She went to a neurologist and was diagnosed with dysautonomia. She was given weeks of counseling and medication. What is dysautonomia? I don't think I've ever heard that term. I hope they'll explain it. I wonder if it was something like a nervous breakdown. I'd heard that it happens to people who are really methodical or overly sensitive. Neither of those match Rena's easygoing personality. And in the counselor's medical report, he recorded all of the conversations he had with Rena-san. It shows up, and quite a bit at that.
What did? I pressed forward carelessly. There couldn't be anything more for me to regret.
She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama.
It felt like someone's stone-cold hand was caressing my back. Why? Why had Rena spoken of Oyashiro-sama before she even came to Hinamizawa?
Seems that the Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost, appearing in her house every night, standing over her pillow, looking down at her.
My mind froze. I couldn't process what was being told.
A while after that, she moved to Hinamizawa. Ah, that's right. She's not an outsider.
Huh?
According to their residency register, the Ryugu family used to reside in Hinamizawa. They moved to Ibaraki just as Rena-san entered elementary school.
My mind went completely blank. It was similar to the static you would see on a blank TV channel. My ears began ringing as I lost all sense of comprehension.
Maibara-san, are you alright? Shall we stop?
Those words brought me back. I couldn't let it end here. Now I know about Rena. Then, how about the last victim, Tomitake-san? Who was he connected with? Irritated, I let out one final reprisal.
All of them? Have you forgotten, Maibara-san? Didn't you spend all night on the festival together quite merrily? Quite a few of the officers saw you enjoying yourselves.
Now there was nothing I could respond with. I fell silent as my brain turned to mush.
We should get going. Ah, Maibara-san, did you take your afternoon medicine?
I had completely forgotten about the medicine I had gotten today until Oishi-san said that. I got another glass of water, and we left the shop after I chugged it down. We got in the car and returned to Hinamizawa via the rough road. I never really paid attention when I was on my bike, but did cars normally shake this much? It was almost as if the road was desperately trying to tell me something. But that big jolt was from the difference in the elevation of the road when it changed from cement to dirt. I was certain that I heard Tomitake-san scream. I sat in silence, just letting myself be shaken by the car.
I'll drop you off at your house. You missed school because you were ill, correct?
Sorry.
My apologies for the long conversation.
Why did you talk to me? I blurted out the question. Really just blurted it out. I didn't expect an answer.
I did check with you first, didn't I? If we should just stop.
Not that. Why did you reach out to me? I understood quite well that Oishi-san was investigating the string of suspicious incidents, but why was he telling me all this? I knew nothing and couldn't help. Everything Oishi-san spoke of was news to me. First of all, what could I, having just moved here, possibly know? By chance, if there was a reason for Oishi-san to reach out to me, then it would have to be that I was part of Mion's circle of friends who looked suspicious to Oishi-san.
I'm retiring this year. I plan on moving away after retiring as my mother wants. But while I'm still on the case, I want to bring the truth behind this incident to light.
So, Oishi-san, you suspect them, don't you? All of them? Oishi-san didn't really give a response. It felt a little late, but I thought it was his way of showing a bit of consideration for my feelings.
This is mostly my intuition from 30 years on this job, my brother-son. You're the one in danger.
Huh? I wanted to reply with, "That's absurd," but in my downtrodden state, I couldn't bring myself to say it.
I'll be retiring this year, so I won't be at the Watanagashi next year. So I want to settle things.
In other words, he was insinuating that on the next Watanagashi, I might be the victim.
I've been warned by the chief as well. Each incident in the string of cases has been solved, so don't bring it up again, or so I was told. This is the pressure that I'm facing.
Pressure from what?
Someone in Hinamizawa. We've arrived. Is this fine?
After some time, the car finally reached the path to my house. The clock read 2 p.m. I was surprised so little time had passed since we ate. It was hot outside the car. The chirping of the Higurashi hurt my ears.
I won't mind if you just forget everything I told you today, but I'm still going to keep investigating. I will end Oyashiro-sama's curse this year.
So you're saying I should contact you if anything happens?
It's fine. Just contact me when you feel you have to, my brother-son.
I wasn't collected enough to understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying it.
Be sure to take it easy. I'm sorry for throwing all this at you while you were taking the day off because you were sick.
I didn't really give any sort of response.
I'll always be on your side. If anything, believe that. I'll be off now.
Oops, sorry. The tires crunched over the dirt road as the car made a U-turn and disappeared into a cloud of kicked-up dust. It felt like I was watching a boat only throw me a lifesaver in shark-infested waters before disappearing into the distance. That was the first time I thought Oishi-san was being unfair, telling me I was going to be the next victim, then just saying to contact him if something happened. This wasn't a criminal investigation. He was fishing, and I was just the bait dangling off the line. Would the fish be the perpetrator, or was it really just Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, the bait would be swallowed whole. Damn it, I don't want to die. For some time, I could do nothing but stare at the puddle of water left behind by the AC from the car. I really wonder what's up with the AC in that car. They're pointing out so often that it has to become, part of the plot at some point, but why, I really wonder why.
Wah, wah, wah.
Are you trying to do the like cicada sound? Oh, what is that, Bushy? I wonder how much time had passed since I laid down. It was getting dark outside. My body was soaked in sweat. It would probably be a good idea to change my sheets. Oh my god. I just thought my non-existing phone rang. Holy shit. Oh my god. At that moment, the phone downstairs rang. It was probably Mom. Mom was quite the worrywart. Maybe she had called many times, but I just didn't notice it. Hello, this is the Maibara residence? Oh, he's alive. Hello. This is Mion. How you doing? Right, it spooked me too. Like, oh my god. I don't know. There's something really, really unsettling about just like phones ringing. I don't know. This made me realize I've not had a landline in so long. It's to exemplify how this guy isn't from here because he isn't used to the heat? Maybe. Right? It sounded so real. Like that was mixed like it really was in the back of my house. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, Pet. It had the distance, It didn't sound like it was in the game. The mixer hella cooked with that. Too real. Didn't have to go that hard. This is one of Keiichi's friends? Keiichi is resting now, but shall I put him on? Huh? Is this his dad? Sorry. Idiot. You fell for it. Huh? Kei-chan! After our exchange, we both had a good laugh together. Except I was suspicious of her even as we were laughing. Was everybody really involved in the incidents? The fact that I couldn't say no saddened me. I'm relieved you seem well. Elena was really worried, Satoko-chan was happy and said you got what you deserved. But Ika-chan said, how unfortunate he's sick. Looks like everyone was making a big deal out of it. Well, so, Kei-chan, is now a bad time to come pay you a visit? A visit? No, it's okay. It's not like I'm dying. My grandma made a ton of mochi, you see. I was told to share them. So I'll bring you some. Hey now, you'll catch my cold. Not to worry. Both Rena and I are too stupid to catch a cold. See you! Be there in a bit. Wait, is that a thing in other cultures too? Like where they say idiots don't catch colds? I think it is, right? She hung up cheerfully. Rena's coming too. That's what it sounded like. I was still concerned about meeting Rena, but I guess if she was with Mion... I heard the doorbell 10 minutes later. How are you feeling? Did you take your medicine and rest? But did she show up with a gun? Of course she did. I wonder why they removed that from the other sprites. I did just that.
Thank goodness you look well. I was worried.
Sorry, I'll be fine by tomorrow. Mion showed a complete lack of concern for someone who's recovering, and Rena looked like she was worried about me from the bottom of her heart. It didn't look like there was anything behind those expressions. I thought we might hang out for a bit, but it looks like you're not quite in the condition for it. You don't say. It seemed my face appeared to be a bit sullen.
Then here, Keiichi-kun. These are the mochi Mi-chan's grandma made.
And then I held out the package wrapped in newspaper. There might be about 5 in here. It was quite hefty. Ah, thanks. Send my regards to your grandma, Mion.
Yep. There's one that I made in there as well. I wonder if Keiichi-kun can guess which one.
This is Kei-chan's homework since he missed club meeting today. There are letters on each mochi, so I'll ask you tomorrow. Were you checking if I was feeling better, or did you just come here for club activities? Yep, looking fine. Guess you'll be able to make it tomorrow. Man, what are you going to do if my fever comes back because of your shenanigans?
Mi-chan, we shouldn't be making such a racket. Let's go. The other people here will get angry.
Both of them thought my parents were home. It was because the entranceway was a mess. You're right, let's get going. By the way, Kei-chan. Yeah?
What did you eat for lunch?
Okay, girl, got her icy stare out. The sudden question startled me, and I went wide-eyed when I saw Mion. I had never seen her like that. It was a highly unsettling visage. But why is she asking me about what I ate for lunch? What she said was so inane it was almost meaningless.
Hey, welcome back, Aristo. You made it. You survived.
Yeah, you're just in time for more scoopy parts. I hope work wasn't too bad. Now enjoy your weekend. The way she said it, it was almost like she didn't even care at all about what I ate. I ate out? She must have suspected that I was with Oishi-san. Anyway, I felt that if I hesitated or tried to change the subject, then they'd read too deep into it, so I tried answering as quickly as possible. Except, contrary to the efforts I had made, there was a pause before they replied.
So you ate out for lunch, Keiichi-kun?
The glimmer from Rena's eyes had changed at some point as well. It's now sharp as if to make me feel they feigned ignorance behind her words even more. As if she already knew, and that's how it looked to me. Well, was it good? Why are you asking me this? 24? Eh? Wait, sorry, you have to explain that one to me, Aristo. Mion was speaking in an unusually low tone, almost as if she knew that I had eaten at the restaurant in town. No, I'm overthinking this. I mean, both of them should have been in school at lunchtime. There was no way they could have known where I was. Seems you were with a rather austere-looking older guy. Who was he? Flop. The package with the mochi I was holding slipped out of my hands. I could tell the blood had drained from my face, making me go pale.
Oh? Keiichi-kun, who was he? Could it be the person from before? I wonder.
I could feel the back of my throat going dry. This was no longer a bluff. They knew everything? How do you know that? It took everything I had to finally force those words from my throat. My knees were shaking, palms sweaty.
mom spaghetti. It's from SpongeBob SquarePants, where Patrick had to introduce himself in front of the driving class, and he couldn't answer properly that he yelled 24 and everyone laughed. Oh no! Oh no! I've not seen enough SpongeBob in my life to know all these references. That's so sad. Yeah, mom spaghetti. Random question though, what are you guys' favorite type of pasta? Spaghetti, what else is there? What are they all called? Penne? Fettuccine? I have to go back into the VOD. 1-4 Koto. Does ramen qualify? You know what? I guess. And grab the wrap. Go for it, Koto. Koto, I'll wrap it for you during next karaoke stream, and you'll attend. I got that one down. God, I forgot what pasta is called. I don't actually know what my favorite type of pasta is. I have no idea, actually. Fettuccine for party. Okay. You know, fettuccine is actually a candy in Japan. And it's actually one of my favorite candies. Let me show you. While the spoopy girls are in the background. Let me. Oh my god! Of course, fettuccine actually showed me the pasta. It looks like this, and it's so funny. It's candy, and it says it has an al dente bouncy bite. But I love this candy. It's grape flavor. There's other flavors too, but I feel like the like OG flavor is grape. It's much better than the Long Long Man gummy, I promise. Long Long Man gummy ain't shit. That stuff is not too good. Fettuccine is where it's at, okay? Oh, cola flavor? Oh my god, soda flavor? I love soda flavor. Long Man hits different. It's such a good series of commercials. I love that stuff. Back to our spooky girls.
Because there's nothing this old man doesn't know. Mion sneered knowingly, and her laugh seemed to carry on forever. So, Kei-chan, what did you talk about? It seems like you got pretty worked up over it too.
We weren't talking about you guys or anything. I didn't have anything to do with you or Rina.
Isn't it a bit strange to hear our names come up even though nobody asked about that?
Rina's unwavering gaze pierced through my eyes and peered further inside me.
Oh my god, Koto. Oh my god. I didn't know like 80% of those. I think as a kid I always loved fusilli. You made some of those up, didn't you? Angel hair? What's angel hair? Is it like really, really fine? Angel hair pasta? Oh, yeah, no, I know those. Oh. I kind of like my pasta to be a bit thicker. I know you're Italian amongst a million other things. But I do remember that, Koto. I dug my own grave. My heart was throbbing so much it felt like I was going to explode.
Well, whatever you're trying to hide, this old man already sees through it all. Remember that.
I couldn't even shake my head. It took everything I had to stop my teeth from chattering. She never let her gaze break from mine, even as she tilted her head slightly.
Keiichi-kun, you don't look so good. I think you should lie down.
That's true.
We should both head back home.
As if nothing had happened, they both giggled at each other and started making their way out. I hadn't moved a muscle since I had dropped the package of mochi. As they left, the door slowly closed behind them. All I could do was stare, as if I couldn't move until the door was completely closed. Ever heard Orechiet pastor? No, let me Google. Oh, wait, no, I like those. I always think those look like blood cells. But in pasta color, you know? Just as the door was just about to be closed, it opened again slightly with a sudden creak, sending my heart racing once again. Oh my god. A single eye peered in through that narrow slit, and Mion's hawkish gaze peered at me once again.
See you, Kei-chan.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow, alright?
Thud. The door closed. I wasn't able to move a muscle even after their low laughter died off in the distance and silence once again enveloped the room. Coming back to my senses, the first thing I did was lock the door. They knew what Oishi-san and I talked about? Why? How? No, that wasn't important. Thinking about it now, all of it could have been overheard from the beginning when Oishi-san met me. Just as Mion said, I couldn't hide anything. Then, what were they trying to tell me? That part was obvious. They were warning me not to say anything unnecessary. What did they deem unnecessary? I only talked with Oishi-san about one thing, and they were warning me that that was unnecessary. What was it that Oishi-san talked to me about? The incidents involving Oyashiro-sama's curse that occurred every year weren't individual cases, but were connected as a whole. As well as the fact that there may be multiple perpetrators hidden within Hinamizawa. No, more precisely, that Mion, Rena, Satoko, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. Is that what they were warning me against? What kind of nonsense am I thinking about? I hit my own face hard enough that it let out a loud slap. If only that would wake me from this nightmare. But for some reason I felt like I was punching a blanket. It was almost laughably painless. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. When did I become such a pessimist? Calm down. Calm down. Settle down and sort things out. The reason Mion knew I was eating lunch with Oishi-san was probably because somebody from Hinamizawa just happened to be there at the same time. They must have told Mion that I was there. That made most sense. Plus, come to think of it, she didn't ask me where I ate lunch, did she? She only asked, was it good? They were just curious since I was together with someone not from Hinamizawa. It's not as if they had ulterior motives. That's it. That has to be it.
thinking about it that way. It was the same with Rina. Bro is mad coping right now. I was just being strangely ambiguous about when I met with Oishi-san, and Rina was just correcting me on that. That's when I was bewildered by the change in character from the usual mild-mannered Rina, and was just startled by it. That's the most natural way of thinking about it. It felt like my mind was mixed up like a tangled mess of spaghetti. No way he actually mentioned spaghetti here. No way. This game is listening in on us. Holy shit. Deep red marinara sauce would have poured out of my nose and ears if you squeezed my head. Thinking that, I suddenly felt like vomiting. No way. No, okay, no. They're pulling my leg now. First they mentioned spaghetti, and now he's talking about vomiting? I'm done. This game is listening in. There's like some AI in there that's just like listening to my thoughts and what I say on stream. If you think about it, that would be a crazy game, you know? Imagine they made a game that is a text-based game, visual novel, but there's an AI in it that changes the story according to whatever you say on stream. That'd be crazy. I wonder if AI can be that good of a storyteller though. It probably all would not make any sense and would be completely incoherent. Incohesive? Oh yeah, I've heard about like two of those, rigatoni and tortellini. But I forgot what they look like. I can't believe this entire rap is in here. I really didn't want that to happen, so I stopped moving my head. Lately, I had no idea what anyone was saying. Spending time with them was fun. It didn't feel like there was any sort of hidden agenda. I really do think that they were a good bunch of people. When I just moved here and couldn't make heads or tails of everything, they were really kind to me. Rina was really kind and always looked after me. As long as that strange affliction didn't rear its ugly head, she was really pretty cute. Mion is also a really good person. She didn't care about anyone's age or gender and was optimistic and outgoing. I was never bored when I was with her. And talking of not getting bored, rambunctious Satoko was a good person for that too. She was pretty bratty, but that was just the way she interacted with others. Rika-chan was the same way. She didn't speak often, but that didn't mean she was always silent. They're my friends. But after hearing of the better untold secrets of Hiramizawa from Oishi-san and Tomitake-san, when I was told about Oyashiro-sama's curse, things started going crazy. Then hearing from Oishi-san that Mion, Rena, Satoko, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. After that, everyone changed. That's right. It all started getting weird after Oishi-san told me all that strange stuff. At that time, I really should have just not listened to those weird stories. I shouldn't even have asked Tomitake-san about the past incidents on the night of the Watanagashi. If I just hadn't gotten that strange sense of curiosity, if I just hadn't... That's right. So that's why they... blanked Tomitake-san. That impudent outsider speaking to the likes of me, after everybody went out of their way to keep it a secret from me. They probably blank Oishi-san as well, for trying to unearth what everybody was warning me was better left buried. Besides that, he was unforgivable for spewing words that made me doubt the others. Of course a guy like that is going to be blanked.
Why are they blanking that out? Censoring. Killed, I guess. Or, hmm. Both Tomitake-san and Oishi-san were nothing but outsiders after all. They were entities who couldn't coexist with the people of Hinamizawa. Those guys should just fall to Yashiro-sama's curse and just blank. It wasn't their fault. Hey yo, Bjorn, hello! Welcome. I hope you've been good. We're uncovering some very suspicious things in town here. It seems like the entire town is trying to kill all the outsiders. I'm so happy to hear that. Good and busy is a great combination. I love that. Love that for you. It's so nice to see you. Say hi. For us, yeah, me too. I'm personally good. Bushi is listening, but actually she got a little sick, so that's why she's listening for now. But I personally am very good. It's finally the weekend for me, so I've got nothing to complain about. Finally done working day and night. It was my fault for not being able to hold back my curiosity. It wasn't their fault. 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 I settled into a daze. It was a lethargic feeling, like I had just gotten up, but the ominous chill that haunted me had subsided. I was fine now. I was no longer frightened. I had completely recovered. I'll go to school tomorrow, right as rain. I'll greet everyone. I'll take part in club activities. It'll definitely be fun. It had to be fun. I was one of them after all. Ah, that reminds me. I need to eat those mochi. I hope I'm able to tell which one Rena made. I remembered the homework the two brought with them when they visited me. But wow, our club did delivery. That was something else. I picked up the package I dropped on the floor and headed into the living room. It would be nice, I guess, to have some tea with it. To fill my mouth with mochi while drinking tea. Oh, this was quite a delectable situation I was in. Opening up the newspaper wrapping, there were 5 plump red bean paste mochi fit snugly inside. There were letters written from left to right of the newspaper. A, B, C, D, and E. Now then, they said Rena made one of these. I wonder which one. There wasn't much of a difference in how they looked. They smelled and appeared about the same. This was a pretty difficult problem. The biggest difference was probably their shape. I wasn't sure what kind of person Mion's grandma was, but Rena's had to be different from hers. Looking carefully, I could see one mochi that was made very neatly. So well that, just by staring at it, one could tell it stood out. Looks like this challenge depends on whether or not this one is Rena's. Calm down and think even harder. Mion had said her grandma made a ton of them and was told to give some out, if I remembered correctly. So that meant 4 of these were from that large batch. Then what about Rena? She probably only made 1, so she probably spent quite a bit of time on it. Meaning the one Rena had made was this one, E. For a moment, I thought it may have been a trap Mion laid, as she knew I'd pick up on it, but that probably wasn't the case. I wouldn't be so sure if I knew Mion had made it, but since she said Rena made it, it probably wasn't a trap. Alright, my tea is ready too. I'll start with the defending champ, Mion's grandma. Let's see. Not bad.
The smooth bean paste and soft chewy texture left little to be desired. The tea I drank afterwards also accentuated the experience. This was an exquisite piece of work. Now, how about Rena's? The creation was so delicate, one would think it was a high-class Japanese dessert. Since I normally had quite the appetite, I was slightly worried about the size of the portion. But well, first, a bite. This was quite a difficult one to judge, actually. The ingredients were exactly the same, so there was little difference in flavor. What was different was how it was shaped at the end, so it was to be expected. So the deciding factors would be presentation and volume. The well-formed and well-sized champion versus Rena the challenger with a size you just couldn't get enough of. I'd only had one bite of Rena's. I would probably have to wait until after I was done eating to make my decision. Maybe there was something hidden inside that could cause an upset. Chew. It seems my prediction was right. My tongue touched something. It didn't feel like something edible, so I reached in with my fingers and grabbed it. What was this? Before I could fully comprehend what it was, I threw away the rest of the mochi I was eating as fast as I could. It slammed against the wall, causing the bean jam to splatter. Then, after sticking for a moment, it slid down to the floor. I was dumbstruck by my own actions. What was I doing? Rena had gone out of her way to make it for me. How could I? Dumbstruck, I looked down at the hand that performed such a vile act. Then I remembered what I had taken out of my mouth. At first, I thought it was a hair. Even though it was shorter than Neon's, Rena's hair was still quite long. And it wasn't this short. It was also a bit too hard to be a hair. It was thick enough to roll around on my tongue. There was a bit of a metallic sheen on one end of it. Ah yes, there was a hole for where thread goes through, like it was a sewing needle. Yes, that's right. It looked very much like a sewing needle. Exactly like one. The end was pointed as well. Quite sharply. It really did look just like a sewing needle. Huh? What did I mean by looked very much like a sewing needle just a bit ago? I couldn't answer. Is it a horror game? Oh, it's a visual novel first and foremost, and it has a lot more horror elements to it than I think more than Umineko. However, we did get quite a good amount of horror in Umineko as well. But I do believe Higurashi is a bit stronger on the mysterious horror side. I believe. But it's not made to scare you. I think it's made to be a good story, but the spooky parts are written quite nicely. But a voice inside me already knew, and let me know by chattering my molars together. I couldn't starve off terror welling up inside me. Suddenly, I tasted something metallic and felt a prickling pain at the back of my throat. I stuck my finger into the back of my mouth and felt around to see if I was bleeding. Suddenly, I felt the urge to vomit. The sharp taste of bile irritated the back of my throat. I clasped both hands over my mouth and, after writhing in agony, I was somehow able to hold back the nausea. I was finally able to breathe normally again. By this time, my heart was throbbing intensely. Rena goes, "Uso!" You're like, she says that? Oh yeah, she does, huh? I don't remember how she speaks from the anime or in the voice acting, but I guess that's one of her her like main lines, right? Because when we had that scene with Rena earlier, I did get an achievement called lies, which translates to uso in Japanese, I guess. So it seemed like something that she says as a tagline. Do you say that tagline? Punchline? No. You know what I mean. Then it finally registered. Exactly what was mixed in with the mochi. Before I could think of the correct word, my hands were already on the move. I tossed the rest of the mochi against the wall. The geometrical patterns of the scattered bean jam on the wall suddenly invoked a terrible omen in my mind. After looking away, I dashed out to the hall and flew upstairs to my room, where I stayed under my covers until morning. I clutched my own shoulders, howling madly in a mix of fear, anger, sadness, and frustration. This wasn't a threat or warning or reminder, nothing as simple as that. What had happened in Hinamizawa? What is happening in Hinamizawa? What would happen? Oh, Sarah, that is so cute. That is, oh my god, so. Oh. It's late for you, Sarah. Of course, close those eyes. I love that rhyme. Müde bin ich, Känguru, schließe meine Äuglein zu. That is so cute. That's like a good night rhyme for kids. Thank you so much for listening, Sarah. Please sleep well. Appreciate you loads. Thank you for being here for so long. Night night. Catch you soon. I didn't know the answer to any of those questions. Where did I break a taboo? Regardless how Rena and Mion and the others, they considered me an enemy. And they thought I should just die? I won't let you kill me. Not for such a pointless reason. I fell into a restless sleep, as I was crushed by my negative emotions. It was as if I was being drawn into a billowing, bottomless swamp. I feel like I have an idea of where this is going. But I'm not sure. Hard to swallow. Enjoy a homemade snack. That was my achievement. Okay. I will save here first. Should we do another section or should we maybe even read a tip? I'm not sure. We have quite a few now, 3 pages. But to be honest, I want to get on with the main story. There's like, on one hand, I want to get on with the main story. On the other hand, I don't really want to read everything without Wushi being here as well. But yeah, I won't go as long as usually today. So I think I'm gonna cut it at the 4-hour mark. But I wanna keep reading. I will remember though that when I'm done with my current workload, that I'll record some of these. I'm sure there are nice have a lot of like nice extra information. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of muffled footsteps stopped in front of the door to my room. A moment of silence, as if whomever they belonged to was ascertaining if I was inside. Of all the things I should have been doing, I continued on with my restless slumber. I was very much conscious, but my body hadn't caught up yet. Even with danger bearing down on me from just beyond the door, it was as if I was completely paralyzed, unable to move. Without a doubt, this was sheer terror. Please, just leave. Hey, why isn't my body awake yet? If they came into my room right now, then... God, this is like a sleep paralysis demon. Wah! I sprang to my feet and threw my covers at my mom, who was opening the door. Whoa! Katie, what's the matter? Oh, sorry. I was still half asleep. I thought it was still 1 or 2 a.m., but the morning sun was already streaming through the gap between the curtains. It felt nothing like morning. Yesterday, I must have fallen asleep right after that. Then I should have gotten a full 10 hours of rest. But it didn't feel like that at all. My internal clock was completely screwed up, and my sense of balance fell off. I felt feverish enough that it was clear to me that I was not well.
Well, Katie, how are you feeling? Can you make it to school?
I felt far from well enough. No, I wasn't mentally fit to go. I was still plagued with the terror from yesterday. If I had swallowed that needle, what would have happened? Or what if I had pierced my tongue? There was undoubtedly a murderous intent, but I don't think that's all it was. If they really wanted to kill me, then there were other, more certain ways to do it. They wouldn't resort to such a dubious method as having me swallow a needle. Meaning, I didn't want to believe it, but going that far was just a threat from Rena and Mion. Aren't you glad you didn't die? But next time, we'll use a more assured method. Like that. Something like sending a letter with a razor inside would have been a joke compared to this.
Did you make it to the hospital? Did you take your medicine?
Yeah, kinda. Something about my mom's dubious gaze bothered me. She seemed more concerned about her son missing 2 days of school rather than him being sick. It was definitely mental fatigue. I wasn't really physically ill.
It'll be hard for you to get back on track once your daily routine is thrown off. Come on, get on up. They say wellness is a state of mind.
I heard that line many times before. I was given an award in elementary school for having perfect attendance, but it wasn't like I was healthier than everyone.
Come on, go wash your face. Breakfast is already ready. There isn't much time before Rena-chan comes and gets you.
Mom's tone meant I couldn't argue about it, so I had to give up on skipping a second day. You love that Redeem Aristo. It's the Aristo Redeem now. I love it. By the way, were you the one who got bean paste all over the living room wall, Katie? You shouldn't do something like that. Your father was quite angry. I didn't feel particularly guilty for doing it, so I didn't have much of a reaction. Also, Mom didn't question me any further about it. She headed back downstairs after she was certain I was getting up. What Mion said as she left yesterday, "I'd hate if you missed school tomorrow," came back and dwelled in the back of my head. What did she mean by that? I didn't even have to really think about it. She was saying, don't be absent. Absent? Don't be absent. Taking that a bit further, it was the same as her saying I should just go about living my life as if nothing happened. If I showed any signs of acting unusual, it would probably result in them making their move. If I acted differently, someone like Oishi-san, for example, might end up noticing that something is up. Meaning, if I didn't watch my mouth or did anything differently from the norm, in effect, it would end up communicating something to those who were undesirable. And it seems that was something that the girls didn't intend to forgive. So, if I just went along as normal, no harm would come to me. Was that how it was going to be? All that misery I experienced up until yesterday would, almost creepily, just fade away. It was an enticing deal. Just by forgetting everything I'd seen or heard these last few days, I'd be able to keep living on like normal. There was no way such a selfish thing could. I swallowed hard. I once again deliberated on the idea that I had just rejected. Mion was probably a good person who had her friends at heart. She was giving me, who had mistakenly broken some rule of theirs, a chance. Was what I did really something so unforgivable? But Mion had given me another chance. She was saying if I just forgot everything and kept living on like I had been, I'd be forgiven. Keiichi, your food is going to get cold. Hurry up and get down here. Then I will be here if you don't hurry. I'm coming. I crammed my textbooks into my bag and hastily made my way downstairs. I picked at my somewhat bland breakfast. It seemed that I didn't have much time. It was already past when I usually met up with Lena. Given yesterday's events, she'd probably be here in the next 5 minutes. I needed to be ready to head to school by then. I had to forget everything that had happened the past 2 days. Forget it all and return to my normal life. For this to be normal, I'll have to be where I normally meet up with Lena. Today of all days, the rice was dry and hard to get down. I jumped at the sound and dropped my chopsticks. That chime signaled that Lena had arrived. Mom hurried me along. Come on, Lena-chan's already here. Hurry, hurry! My mother's merry smile and my gloomy face were polar opposites. Honestly, I was reluctant to see Lena, who was waiting there on the other side of the door. The Lena on the other side, was it the Lena I knew? I couldn't keep her waiting. I needed to do things as usual.
Morning!
An invigorating greeting filtered in from across the doorway.
I came since Keiichi-kun was a bit late. Will he be okay today? I wonder.
The manner in which Helena was concerned was, without a doubt, the Helena I knew. But that was probably only if I reciprocated. Forget everything from yesterday. Pretend as though nothing had happened. Forget about the gruesome dismemberment. Forget about the mysterious deaths that had happened the following years. Forget about the people falling to their death, and the terminal illness and suicide, the fatal beatings, and the disappearances. Forget it. Forget all of it. Forget that Irina and Mion were scary. Of course, forget it all. Forget about all of it. Forget about the mochi too. Forget. Rina once again asked to make sure.
Can you make it to school?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Great! Then let's go. Mi-chan is waiting.
Rina showed me her usual bright smile. I couldn't find any hint of deceit in her expression. My nervousness dissipated, giving way to relief.
But you see, Satoko-chan was so insistent she could do it.
As we were walking, Rina talked about a lot of different stuff, more so than usual. And then?
Satoko-chan is so clumsy, so she failed no matter how many times she tried. Oh, she was so cute.
Everything Rena talked about was just silly nonsense, so I just replied every so often and laughed from time to time. It was a rather laid-back conversation. We passed by one of our neighbors and they called out to us.
Oh my, Keiichi-san and Rena-chan, are you two a bit late today? Mion said she was going on ahead.
Uh-oh, did Michan look mad? I wonder. We need to hurry up, Keiichi-kun.
After greeting our neighbor with a smile, Rena turned back to me and poked her tongue out. Not expecting that, I couldn't help but crack a smile.
Ah, Keiichi-kun smiled.
Huh? What? Rena stopped and stared at me.
Stop and stare. Na 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 na.
I forgot about that song.
I was thinking you still hadn't recovered from your cold since you seemed down this morning, Keiichi-kun. But now you seem fine. Fine. Hi, Ellie.
Thank you for lurking. And for getting your gotcha. Enjoy.
Take a drink.
I do need to drink. You are actually so right. Thank you. That helped. That was great. With a grin, she gently poked my cheek. It was a bright, sincere smile. Hey, Keiichi Maibara, how can you still doubt Rena after she shows you a smile like that? Maybe I just had a high fever up until today, and I imagined everything that I thought happened because I was bedridden and delirious? I really hope that was the case. If God would grant me just one wish, there's only one thing that I'd wish for. I would want that what happened in the past few days, more specifically from the night of the Watanagashi up until last night, I wanted all of that to have never happened. I wonder how many times I'd wished for these past few days. As long as Rena kept on smiling like this, I think it might just become reality. So I wanted Rena to keep on smiling. Keep on smiling. Yo, Andrew. Andrew! I don't know if you can trust them. Oh my god.
So, Keiichi-kun, those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all?
Well, so much for trusting them. The vain wish of mine was instantly shattered. My heart began palpitating. The relaxed morning mood suddenly became frigid. Rena's smile was the same as usual. Her eyes were gentle as usual. Those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all? Switch character styles. You're so right, I forgot. Why does this one look so much creepier? Holy shit. Oh my god. This is borderline nightmare material, even though it's just her sprites inverted in color, you know? I should have switched to the to these while they had their creepy faces out. And that's the right emote, Pat. Of course, she wasn't asking the question at face value. In other words, Rena was asking, did you get the message? She was probably trying to convey that.
Keiichi-kun?
I was reluctant to give an answer. Rena stopped walking and stared deeply into my eyes. Oh, don't hesitate, Keiichi Maibara. Rena was acting the same as always, wasn't she? I needed to respond in my usual way. Naturally, of course. But both my throat and mouth had gone dry, and my lips were stuck together. Hurry and answer, Keiichi. Not that much time had passed. I could still keep the conversation going naturally. I had to say something quickly. De? Rena playfully mimicked what I said when I finally squeaked something out. Rena's reaction was still normal. It seems that there wasn't as long of a pause as I had thought. Somehow I finally squeaked out the rest. Delicious. I don't know if he's paranoid or if this is real, but I think he's being super paranoid. I'm not sure. And I like that it's not obvious. However, my strained efforts neither sullied nor brightened Rena's expression. The needle could have been a mistake. I would never make that mistake, Like, I'd be so freaked out if I saw a needle or felt a needle inside my mouth. Blah. Mm-mm. Oh, you mean a mistake as in she accidentally needed that needle in there? That would be the goofiest mistake. Whoa. Who would? Yeah, it could have been. Hey, Happy Cow. Good evening. I mean, it could be a mistake, It could be. Maybe it was a mistake, but Keiichi is just so paranoid that, of course, to him it looked like a threat. I hope you're doing well, Cow. I am, for sure. I am, even though it's that time of the month, but I persevere. For a moment, I panicked, thinking I had replied incorrectly. But after a few moments, Rena broke into her usual soft smile and giggled with a joyful voice that seemed to echo through the morning air. Being strung along by that laugh, I couldn't help but laugh as well.
I see. So, did you eat all of them? I wonder.
My timid smile froze again. Did you make it without swallowing the sewing needle? Was that what she was asking? If I had swallowed it, then I wouldn't be here. No, I couldn't finish all of them. There's still some left. Oh my god, let's go, Star. Enjoy your Hatsune Miku and fork knife. I've been getting so many social media reels with the fork knife Hatsune Miku. It's honestly a great strategic move of fork knife to get Hatsune Miku. And that sounds great, Happy Cow. I hope you'll have a wonderful weekend. I don't know if you have weekends. I don't know if you work on weekends. But I hope you don't. Yeah, Hatsune Miku fork knife. You know about it, right, Sadaka? Hatsune Miku Miku Uiu. Hatsune Miku Miku Uiu. Fork knife. Relax and watch American football. Let's freaking go. I will have to admit I have never ever seen an American football game. I was scared out of my wits, but that's how I played it.
Huh? What about the homework to see if you could tell which one Lorena made?
That homework was due today?
Yeah, it's due today. Michan will get angry. There's probably a penalty game ready for you.
You think soccer is better? Oh, okay. I don't know. I do have some close friends from Germany who actually prefer American football. Yeah, they definitely prefer it. Like they will stay up late to watch all the matches. We both laughed at each other again. To a casual observer, it was just a typical morning. If I could just let myself believe, then even if I'd think it was just the usual morning routine, but I was certain I wasn't mistaken. There was something unimaginable buried beneath the facade of this giggling Rena.
Lies!
I recalled that unexpected, piercing voice that I could hardly believe came from Rena's mouth. The moment that image crossed my mind, I felt a cold sweat trickle down my back. Was it only at that particular time that something evil had possessed Rena? No, that was wrong. That was still Rena. Oishi-san told me, didn't he?
Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryugu Rena-san moved away to Hinamizawa, she was suspended from school. It seems she went through her school building and broke all of the windows.
Oh, yeah, now we can actually switch through the styles. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess they really just, change how the eyes are rendered, but it's crazy how that changes everything in anime art. Explain it to me. They just basically just take away the shine and then they look like this. Oh, I wonder if it's the novelty. I wonder. I never really asked them about it, actually. They just liked it. But I also don't really know if they really grew up with soccer so much. I mean, I guess it's around you, but I don't know if they played a lot of soccer. I don't know. But they were very enthusiastic about it. Lena had a disorder that normal people didn't. No matter how pleasantly she smiled, that fact would not change. But I couldn't even imagine how she looked as she broke all the glass throughout the school. One thing I knew was that it wasn't something spur of the moment. If it was some sudden outburst of anger, then maybe she'd break a pane or two. But she broke all of the windows, all throughout her school. Just imagining going through your own school breaking the windows with a bat. Whoa, that's such a cool picture. That's such a cool illustration. Whoa, wait. How do I hide this? I love that. That's such a cool angle. I've never seen Rena like this. And also, her old school uniform is super cute. Why upskirt? Look, it's a cool angle, okay? The upskirt doesn't matter. But you're right. Thank you, Cow. Thank you for lurking. Yeah, we're not gonna be here for much longer because we've been reading for a while. And I don't really want to finish this chapter without Boshi, who's sick right now. But next week, I'm pretty sure we'll finish it. This is very cool. I love it. But it takes so much strength to break all the windows of a school. Like, breaking windows isn't easy. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl. I'll forward your wishes to her. I'm pretty sure she's listening, and actually, if she hasn't fallen asleep or anything. Yeah, yeah, Bushi was here like most of the time, but like if she's finally resting now, that's good. Swinging full force at each pane of glass, one after another, paying no heed to the flying shards. Your classmates aghast, unable to move from the sudden turn of events. I wonder where she could have found the most windows lined up in a row. Probably the hallway. Smash, walk, wind up, smash, walk, wind up. It was difficult for me to connect that horrifying image with Elena smiling at me right now. But I just had to imagine it. Impossible because it was unimaginable. That naive way of thinking no longer worked. Oh my god, you're here! Oh my god, what's with the fist, Bushy? What's with the fist? The unpleasant piercing sound of shattered glass. The crunching noise as Helena treads across the broken shards walking towards me. Helena's classmates going pale as they forget to even breathe. I wondered what they did as Helena came closer, breaking windows along her path. Did they earnestly try to bring her to her senses by saying something? Or did they jump at her, trying to stop her savagery? Or did they run off to the staff room to call for the teachers? Probably none of those. In the face of that blood-curdling sight of Rina busting window after window, undoubtedly all they could do was silently clear a path for her. Dumbfounded, just clearing the path for Rina to continue. It would be cruel to blame anyone for looking the other way. No, they weren't simply looking the other way. They knew it was the only way they could protect themselves. If they had done something differently from the rest, they may have suddenly found themselves at Rena's new target. What would Rina have done to whoever attracted her attention? The answer was obvious. She would have undoubtedly acted according to her whims. Meaning I would, be the next window. Rina staring into my eyes, shards of glass crunching and crackling underfoot as she drew closer. I was also drawn into her eyes, paralyzed. Then Rina struck me with the bat over and over again, like I was one of those windows. I crouched down onto the floor, desperately protecting my head. Rina didn't care whether it was in my head or my back. Zealously, she hit me again and again. What kind of expression was she making as she was doing this over and over again? I peered up to see. Her expression was so indifferent, it was completely unnerving. It's because no matter how many times she struck me, I didn't make as pleasant a sound as the other windows. She struck me continuously, over and over again. The sound Rena wanted didn't come out. Our classmates standing around didn't try to stop her. They didn't want to be the next window. Somebody save me. Turning a blind eye unless we're hanging out? But of course, everyone in class scrambled to obtain the highest standardized test scores. They'd gain nothing from saving a crime school tryhard like me. Eventually, there would be a faint sound, similar to when you crack open a walnut, and some sort of reddish-black spray would shoot out. Anyway, it wasn't that Rena momentarily lost herself in her anger. After forcing myself to breathe and calming down my heart, I recalled what Oishi-san told me.
And in the counselor's medical report, he recorded all of the conversations he had with Rena-san. It shows up, and quite a bit at that.
What does?
She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama.
Following that, Rena was suspended and had regular examinations at the hospital. Then, as Rena was undergoing counseling, she said it over and over. Oyashiro-sama.
It seems that the Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost, appearing in her house every night, standing over her pillow, looking down at her.
That was only a piece of their conversation, so I still couldn't see the big picture, but it was by no means a happy little conversation. Then, what Rena did, was she saying that ghastly incident was a result of her being possessed by Oyashiro-sama? Up until now, I didn't want to believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's why I wanted to say the mysterious deaths every year happened because of some sort of conspiracy. Every time I talked with Oishi-san, I was more certain that the deaths were the work of men and not of some curse. Except, if it was people perpetrating the incidents, my friends were somehow deeply connected. If I refused to believe that the curse was real, then I would have to believe those who acted the kindest to me were deeply involved in the incidents. Why? How? For what reason? Was Rena? Was everybody? It was much more painful and troublesome than accepting that it was just Oyashiro-sama's curse. In the aftermath, Rena had admitted to her doctor that it was because she was possessed by Oyashiro-sama. I felt a strange sense of relief from that. So that's how it was. There wasn't a second side to Rena. She did that because she was possessed by something strange like Oyashiro-sama. It wasn't Rena's fault. Oyashiro-sama was the one to blame. I knew. This was all backwards. Refusing to believe there was a curse, I wanted there to be a human perpetrator. Now that my close friends were the ones under suspicion, I changed my beliefs at my own convenience, saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse to blame. Which was the better choice, accepting that Oyashiro-sama's curse exists, or that Rena and the rest of them were deeply involved in the string of mysterious deaths? I didn't want to think about it. If I just didn't think about it, I'd be able to continue the same as always. I wanted to believe that. But that was no longer possible. I had received that message. Do you guys hear kids screaming outside? I don't know if that comes through my mic, but lately there's been a couple tourists here around my condo who seem to have a lot of kids, so they're playing outside in the pool. And for some reason, kids always scream by the pool. It's just a it's just a thing. It's just a rule. Oh, I thought that was the game. No, it's outside my window. I am on a higher floor though, so it's incredible that it's still so loud. They add ambience. I love that. In fact, they are paid actors. I'll admit it. It was pathetic of me to try and bend the meaning to my own convenience. Regardless of whether my opponent were a human or a curse, I won't let it kill me. As if I would just bend over and give in, for no good reason at all.
Katie-kun, you've been making a really weird face. Why, I wonder? I wonder?
Inhaling sharply upon hearing Rena's voice, I came back to my senses. Before I had realized it, we were already at the entrance. Shaking my head a few times, I exorcised all those terrifying thoughts. No matter how you looked at it, there's no way Rena could have done such terrible things. It was like I was trying to placate myself. Okay, should we wrap up around here, you guys? Because I think we're about to head into a new section here, and I'm a little afraid that it would be too long, And it has a lot of character, so I think this would be fun to read with Bushi next week, when she's hopefully not sick anymore. Placate. Okay, placate or placate? Oh. Anyways, this was such a cool session. I loved it. We got a lot of spooky elements. The mystery deepens, the plot thickens, and we don't know if Keiichi is paranoid and imagining it all, or if his friends are really weird and wicked and murderous and out to kill him if he doesn't shut up. Happy's is better? Okay, placate. Okay. Thank you. I'm learning so many words today. What was it? Hallucinogens? Yeah, hallucinogens. I forgot the other word. Okay, you guys. This was fun. I feel like we can finish it next week. And I wonder. I have a suspicion of how it's going to end, but I don't know if that's me like making it up, like as in if I arrive there from my own suspicions, or whether that's some deep memory of me having seen some of the anime a million years ago. So I'm gonna shut up, but we'll find out next time. Yeah, they were talking about hallucinogens earlier. Because what was it? Oh yeah, so the guy who died, Tomitake-san, I wish I could show you, but we don't have a character overview in this game. He died apparently having clawed open his own throat, and they were discussing the possibility of that being caused by some sort of drug, some sort of hallucinogen that made him claw at his own throat, which is a really gruesome image, yeah. But we don't know yet what exactly happened. And that was today's Higurashi When They Cry, everybody. Alright, let's go, write a friend. Let's go find somebody to send you all off to. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm happy we could read Higurashi again, and it was great today. I just can't wait to see how it ends, and to have Bushi back as well. I will be off to continue working on my video, and if I can finish it today, then I will be here later again with some the Somnium files. And if I can't finish it today, then I will probably play it tomorrow at the same planned time. I think that's gonna be early morning for most of you guys. And if not, then I'll catch you guys tomorrow over at Bushy's channel for some Phoenix Wright. Yeah. God, I hope we can finish Phoenix Wright too. That'd be fun. Damn, Bushy, I hope you'll feel better. What's our right message for today? What's a good one? Thanks for being here, everybody. Thank you, Saruka. Thank you. I'm happy you could make it, Cow. Good night, everyone. Let's make it. Let's make the raid message. He good on my Rashi. No way, Shinano. We're done for today. We're done. So you missed everything. This is so sad. Oh my God. Good morning, Shinano. You woke up late today. Did you stay up gaming, or what did you do? Or were you working? With Shinano, you never really know, you know? I actually have a great set of emotes for the raid message today. Oh, Sinduality, you told us about it. woke up too late. Don't worry, Shinano. Guess you're gonna have to check out the VOD, which will be available instantly after the stream. And we didn't go too long today, so you don't have too much to catch up. But I will say it was a really, really cool session, so do check it out. We had a lot of super spoopy, interesting moments, and the mystery is getting bigger, bigger, and bigger. Let's go find somebody to rate. Let's see who's streaming. You know what, you guys? Do you remember Elliot, who rated us last time you were reading Higurashi 2 weeks ago? So he's playing Mansion Tour, which I don't really know what it is, but I know he loves Higurashi. So let's just go and return that favor, that raid as a favor, and because I really adore Elliot. So let's go and raid Starry Bunny Boy. Oh, that was the wrong name. Oops, I misspelled it. We almost went to the wrong channel. There we go. Do you remember? Probably not. No, not the 21st night of September. Do you remember the 21st night of September? God, I still owe you guys a karaoke stream. Will happen too. Gotta catch up a bit. I most definitely will be drawing more art next week. I just gotta finish up this music video. Those who are on my Whips channel on the Discord, all the subscribers, you see what I've been cooking, and I think I can finish it today. So I'll see you either later or tomorrow for Phoenix Wright and for Isomnium Felt. Love you all. Bye bye. 5 gifted right now for karaoke stream. Go. Oh, don't tempt me, Borfus. Don't tempt me. This is so tempting. But I can. We're already raiding out. And also, look, I have to finish my video, okay? But another time you could get me with that. Just not today. I'm locked in. I gotta finish this. See you soon, guys. Love you all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And send your wishes to Bushi for getting better. Bye. Don't forget the raid message. Thank you, Shinano.